wherever you are watching us from. Reaching you from Teenage Care Center International, TCCI, here in Benin City. I'm your host, Precious Ogafwa, and our guest speaker,
Jane Majesty.
We'll be talking briefly on our teenage dressing today. So we'll be starting from what is dressing?
Dressing is a large topic per se. We're looking at the teenage child. We have to model into them the kind of dressing they should do. Because if we don't instill it into our teenage children, we see them going astray from what it ought to be. Based on the fact that indecent dressing now is on the high drive in our society today, and its adverse effects and consequences compared with too much.
Okay.
There are so many implications from it.
Okay. I would like the advantages of proper dressing. Like a teenage child that is properly dressed, it has a lot of advantages. A lot of advantages. Can you just
Yes, dressing, looking at dressing is what we put on to cover our body. So the advantages of this what we put on now to cover our body, one is it gives you confidence. You have self-confidence when you are properly dressed. It makes you comfortable. When you are properly dressed, you are comfortable anywhere you are. You're not ashamed, you're not intimidated, you can talk. It gives you good skill communication. Because, for example, you are not properly dressed. You see sometimes some people are dragging their jeans, dragging their skirts. So you will not be comfortable throughout whatever program or whatever event you find yourself. You see that you are not comfortable. But when you are relaxed, you just feel you are okay. You have confidence. You build your self-confidence.
The advantages of proper dressing for teenagers, for me, I will, from my own point of view, is like is something that as a teenager, when you start doing it, it goes with you.
Yeah, it becomes part of you.
It will become part of you. I'll give an example. Like, there are some children that are used to wearing decent dressing. You understand? Even if they find themselves in the midst of rough persons, you will still see them behaving and dressing that same.
Because it's already in them.
Yeah, because they started it earlier. Yes, they started it earlier. So in terms of that proper dressing, the advantage, it helps them to abstain from dangers.
Sure.
Like, can I say, there are sometimes when you are properly dressed, the way people will address you, the way people will respect you, people respect people because of what they are putting on. I know that's some of the advantages, especially for the teenagers. For the teenagers, sometimes it also have a way of controlling them from being harassed by some unwanted persons. So let's implications of wrong dressing for our teenagers.
Implication of wrong dressing for our teenagers. It could lead to sexual harassment. It could lead to rape. It could also lead to self-demoralization. You lost your value because the way you are dressed is the way people see you. So you can give a wrong impression of you. But when you comport yourself as a Christian child, you should not have that fear. Because there's nothing like one's dignity, one's self-respect. It goes a long way affecting our life and affecting our behavior and the way we think.
I used to get, there was a story that my dad told me concerning a child that the parents have been telling to dress well. The guy was like, no, I'm raining. I'm trying to tell everybody that my elder ones are overseas because of the big trousers and the big shoe. So there was a very good day. He was just walking on his own. He's not a bad guy though, but he was dressing, was wearing something that looks so arrogant, the dread and the trouser tone and all that. So the police were chasing a thief, and the thief ran to a house And at the end of the day, they couldn't get the thief. They apprehended him and took
Mistaken
him.
identity.
Yes, and took him because he was even dressing like a thief. So I think some of the implications for the is just a mistake identity.
Yes, mistaken identity.
Yes, you know, you understand. I go for the girls. Maybe for the girl, her mind might be, I'm just dressing to please myself in the wrong way, and the boys or the guys over there might misinterpret it, thinking she's trying to advertise her body, trying to advertise herself, trying to, you know, call them close. You understand? So
That's what I'm saying. Dressing defines who you
who
are.
you are. You understand? So
So you need to have the right information.
So dressing generally, it's just like, it's not really like it is you. It is just it is interpreting the thing inside of you. But most times, what we do is what we think, what we imagine. So when you imagine good, you put on good clothes. So when you imagine the way you imagine, that's
Abundance out of the
abundance of the heart. So let's talk little on how can the society reduce improper dressing. How can the society help the teenagers, help us to reduce improper dressing among the teenagers?
The society can help improve this improper dressing. Talking of the society, it consists of both families, starting from our families, parents, as school, as our teachers, wherever we find ourselves. So everybody has a role to play, because these teenagers are just coming up. They still don't have a mind of their own, absolutely. They still tend to make a lot of silly mistakes that will make them go astray. So it's our responsibility to instill values into them, to instill ethics into them. Even the Bible in 1 Timothy 2 verse 9 says we should be of modest apparel. So even the Bible recognizes the fact that we should always be modest in our dressing. So we as individuals and as a society should also support this. They can be, for example, talk shows like this, workshop seminars that we teach these young ones and enlighten them on the advantages and disadvantages of dressing and the harm it causes, the consequences of it, whether good or bad. Our parents can start it by correcting their children. When your child is leaving the house, you know that this dressing is bad, this dressing is not good. To tell wrong, give the wrong impression of that person, but it defines who you are. If your child should go out like that, it shows that you as a parent is not bringing that child up. Whether they see you or they don't see you, that thing has already been defined that this person is an irresponsible child, meaning you have not done your part, you have not played your role absolutely. Talking of the school can also bring up a campaign of Operation Indecent Dressing, something like that. And when you see, like sometime in Auchi, when we're in school, if you're on short knicker, you can't enter the school gate. If you are on handless clothes, you can't enter the school gate. So you are in school and you know you have to go to school, so you dress properly. So already that one is already contributing to play a role in the life of this.
I like that system. Children. I think that system should be applied in our churches.
Yes.
Because you see what our teenagers, they just circle on our teenagers, then they just debate. So you see what they are putting on to church. It's a church service, it's a Sunday service. You understand? So you're supposed to put on something that will respect God.
Definitely.
Yes, because when you put on anything that you feel is trending and you know it is wrong, you are disrespecting God. If you know you can't wear this shirt to go and see the president, you can't wear you can't put on this clothes to go and see the governor for what I call it for invitation or whatever. So why will you wear it to the house of God?
Even a job interview,
okay,
that kind of
okay, you understand what I'm saying? So when you feel God cannot see you and you wear anything you like, mind you, you are disrespecting God, because God is even the owner of the president. What you know you cannot wear to see the Oba, you cannot wear to see the king.
Yes.
You wear it to the house of God because you feel God cannot come down to correct you. Well, what I'm trying to say that our church leaders should come in this angle.
Aspect,
because
yes.
God, you can't expect God to come with a cane and be flogging indecent dressing out of the church. So
you don't even need to even stand at the gate to pursue them. There's some kind of message that the pastor will preach.
Yes.
Next Sunday when they are coming, in fact those that are dressing indecently, we already now be uncomfortable.
Yes.
So that's even a polite way of telling them you are dressing wrongly.
Okay. In the society, what about our like our mothers? Because some will say, it's not my child, so I won't correct her. It's not my child, so I won't correct him. So what do you say about like in correcting teenagers, even if they are not your children, even if you don't know them? Don't you think it's right to sometimes beckon on them, just like try to correct them anywhere?
Then in those days they used to say a child is not for just one person. It is everybody can correct the child. But this generation, you see, even the parents get angry when somebody else is correcting his or her child. That's why you now see people saying it's not my own, let me just leave them to what they feel. But even at that, whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. So because God has given us the responsibility to teach the younger ones what they should do that is right, we need to guide them through. But they meet people every day. Sometimes we as adults have passed through that stage. We see these children, maybe a child that is calling you auntie, or you go see in church or anywhere, just talk to you. Maybe this person is not responsible. You can just say, come, but this thing that don't you know that this thing is not nice? There are different approaches you can use to come to that child, and the child will not feel embarrassed. You don't have to scold child in public. The child will have a negative effect on that child, because some children don't like that public embarrassment at all. So you can even use playway method. There are a lot of ways you can do that, and the child will not see offense in it. Even neither will the parents feel this one is doing over sabi.
Even our schools, what about our schools? Sometimes creating like a program for the children.
Yes.
Because teenagers, they are everywhere.
Yes,
They are in the market, they are in the church, they are in school. They are just everywhere. So I think this message
should also be part of school
and
curriculum.
what about our homes?
Teachers should teach them.
Our homes, we are running away from. There's something we have to talk about home. Our parents. I saw a child wearing something like pants, jeans pants to church. So I as a children teacher, I called the little girl. I was like, "What are you wearing?" I said, "Did mommy?" He said, "Mommy saw it." I said, "Just like." He said, "Yes." I said, "Do you know it's wrong?" And I took her out codedly. The rest of them, they didn't know what we were actually discussing. So I was like, "Look round. Is anyone wearing what you are putting on right now?" She actually settled down and washed. She said, "No, ma." Are you getting me?
Yes.
I said, "Mommy saw it." He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay." I now advised her. A little girl about 9 years, or about like 4 Sundays ago.
And she took it.
Yes, since then she
And
has
you
not
know that
been
there are some stubborn children, especially those teenagers.
Yeah.
Say, they will tell you, my as if my mom did not see me
Yeah,
before I left
yeah,
her. So
yeah.
what's your own?
Since then she has been dressing well. You understand what I'm saying? Our parents have a lot. You are the one buying the clothes.
Yes, that's
you are
it.
the one buying the clothes.
Yes.
So even if we will talk to these children, we will talk to them less. We will talk more to the parents. Yes,
the
because
parents that have bulk of the
yes, because they
responsibility.
bought these clothes. Even if they have to give money to the teenage child to buy, they should specify what the child is buying. And when you come home with what I don't want you to buy with my money, I can burn it. Because
Yes.
I won't be happy if that shits you.
As long as you're under
my roof, you should
unless
suggest,
you are not there.
yes,
Do
you
it.
understand?
Face your
So
own
I
thoughts.
won't be happy for you to use my money to buy what will bring danger to you,
Yeah.
or I will seize it. You understand?
Starting from the crèche children. You
Yes.
see parents wearing them bomb shorts.
Bomb
and all
short
that.
because they don't want to show their
They say
skin.
because it's their children, it's fine.
It's
Yeah, it's
fine,
fine. But
yeah.
gradually, it's entering that child. To
And-
not stop it will be difficult for the child.
Yes, so that's it. So generally, the advice that you have for teenagers on dressing, especially Christmas, is fast approaching now. So our advice for them on dressing.
Christmas is approaching. Yes. Christmas is a day of celebration, but doesn't mean that we should now overdo it.
Yeah.
And we should always comport ourselves as children of God. As teenagers, we should always dress properly, because dressing defines who you are. Just like we have different kinds of dressing. We have formal dressing. Dressing you can wear to office, church, suits like suit, tie, shirt, and all that. We have casual dressing. We have recreational dressing, which is for like sports. Maybe you just want to air something simple, and you just want to stroll down the road. Something simple. We have, we call it business dressing, depending on the kind of profession or whatever. So whatever dressing you wear already shows or defines who you are. For example, you see a lawyer, you know that this is a lawyer because he's dressed in that manner. You see a mechanic, or you see an engineer, you know, okay, this is an engineer, the way he is dressed. So we dress according to different location, according to different weather. So it's Christmas, we should also dress according to the occasion because we are celebrating Christ.
Yes.
So we should not be abnormal.
Abnormal.
We should just do things the way it ought to be.
So my own advice for the teenagers for the Christmas dressing, please don't go too higher than your parents' pockets.
Oh, that's true.
Yes, but when you think too higher than your parents' pocket, then you now start thinking into somebody's else pockets. So yes, so that's when they will now start looking for a brother or big sister that will help them with money, that will help them with clothing. And there are some dresses that they are hair. I want to buy hair.
But then do we still buy Christmas clothes?
No, for the teenagers.
Teenagers to do that.
They do.
Okay.
They do. So that's what I'm saying. I think according to your parents' pockets. So when you think too large, then your eyes will not be in someone else's pocket. And you know, in a free town, there's nothing free even in a free town.
Yeah.
So that you will not do Christmas, and at the end of the day, you will resume in January. So what generally we advise teenagers out there to put on something decent every time, every day to school, so that they won't be harassed and a lot they are safe. If you have questions, for your questions, your contributions, you can reach us on our Facebook page, Teenage Care Center. Our WhatsApp number is on the line, is on our screen. And you can reach us and send your contributions. Thanks and God bless you.